Hello everyone, welcome to the Autring. Today I'm going to take you through some of the top stories of the last week. Our first story is the software developers in Ukraine are still working under the Russian bombing. Ukraine, under full-fledged invasion from Russia, is home to 44 million people, more than a million of whom have fled the country as refugees to escape the conflict. It's also home to a massive community of software developers who work remotely for companies all over the United States and Europe. Those developers, along with other Ukrainian civilians in the country, are now being forced to defend their homes and cities while sheltering from Russian bombs. But many are still continuing to remotely work for their employers, supporting the local defense effort by day while sending in their deliverables by night. Our second story is the European stocks sink 3% as the United States and Europe consider Russian oil ban. European stocks tumbled on Monday after news that the United States and European allies are considering a ban on Russian oil imports, posing a risk of global stagflation. The pan-European Stoxx 600 index fell 3.6% in early trade, with banks plunging 7.6% to lead losses, while oil and gas jumped through 2.3%. Last week, the continental benchmark lost 7% and suffered its worst week since March 2020, the onset of the coronavirus pandemic. Oil prices surged to their highest since 2008 in response to the news before trimming gains slightly. International benchmark Brent crude was last seen up 7.8% to around $127.44 per barrel, and United States crude WAS was up 7.7% to around $124 a barrel. Our next story is the United Arab Emirates is placed on money laundering watchdog's grey list. An intergovernmental organization dedicated to combating money laundering and illicit cash flows on Friday placed the United Arab Emirates on its grey list over concerns that the Gulf country isn't sufficiently stemming illegal financial activities. The UAE was one of several countries listed by the Financial Action Task Force as being under increased monitoring due to strategic deficiencies in their efforts to counter money laundering. The state-run Emirates news agency, in a statement published late Friday, said the FATF has recognized that the United Arab Emirates has made positive progress in its anti-money laundering, countering other financial terrorism, and counter-proliferation financing efforts. Our next story is Senator Lindsey Graham defends calling for Russians to assassinate Putin. Senator Lindsey Graham on Friday defended calling for Russians to assassinate President Vladimir Putin, saying it would be the quickest way to end the war in Ukraine. In an interview on Fox News, Fox and Friends, Graham said he hopes that someone in Russia will understand that Putin is, quote, destroying Russia and you need to take this guy out by any means possible, end quote. Our last story is China will raise defense spending by 7.1% in 2022, faster than last year. China's defense spending this year is set to grow at its fastest pace since 2019, according to the Ministry of Finance plan released on Saturday. Defense spending will rise by 7.1% to 1.45 trillion yuan this year, faster than the 6.8% increase in 2021 and 6.6% climb in 2020, according to official data. China's defense spending rose by 7.5% in 2019 to 1.19 trillion yuan. Total central government expenditures for the general public budget are expected to rise by 14.3% to 13 trillion yuan this year, the finance ministry said. Thank you all so much for watching. For further updates, please stay tuned to the Autring.